Hey everyone, it's BigSmoons with a Platinum Review, where I talk about the games that I have the Platinum Trophy or 100% on and what it took to get there. I also review the games based on the amount of fun I had. Demons are attacking. A hero from the west arrives to stop them and hands you a scroll. Can you deliver the scroll from your small village to the mountaintop? Let's get started. The Messenger is a retro-style side-scrolling action platforming game. It was developed by Sabotage Studios and released in 2018. As of the release of this video, it is currently available included with a PlayStation Plus subscription. The Messenger kicks off with your character sitting by the water in the Ninja Village. In classic retro game style, keep heading to the right. You will learn the mechanics of the game: jumping, swinging your sword, and jumping again after a successful sword strike. The village soon comes under fire from demons, but the Western hero arrives and puts a stop to the assault. He hands you a scroll and sends you off on your mission. Head to the mountaintop and deliver the message. You are now the messenger. Your path is set before you, and you need to traverse several maps to reach the mountaintop. Your first stop is a mysterious portal that is opened up. Inside there is a shop and a shopkeeper. You can explore the shop a bit and check out the locked cabinet. The shopkeeper will offer you upgrades in exchange for time shards. These time shards are scattered across the levels, and you'll be in dire need of these upgrades to make the game easier for yourself. You will also earn some upgrades necessary for progression. This includes gliding and running on the surface of liquids. Most of the level traversal is straightforward. Kill some enemies and avoid the obstacles. The enemies are all mostly easy to kill and dodge. The spikes and shifting walls, however, can take our hero out very quickly. Speaking of being taken out, death is not the end for the messenger. If you die, you'll be taken back to the last checkpoint, and a small demon will be flapping his wings over your shoulder. This guy's name is Quills, and he will save you from permanent death. As payment, he will collect a certain number of time shards before leaving you alone again. The Messenger is really a game of two halves. The first half has you scaling the mountain to deliver the scroll, and the second half opens up the world and asks you to trek back through it, Metroid style. You will have to unlock more upgrades and collect hidden notes to complete the game. If you get lost in this second half, you can pay the shopkeeper to show you where to go on the map. This excellent addition keeps the game and the clues from being frustrating. It also keeps you from scouring every section of the map trying to find the right trigger to continue. The music of the Messenger is phenomenal. The blasting of 8-bit and 16-bit retro tunes is a perfect pairing to the visuals. The music here was done by Rainbow Dragon Eyes and is executed flawlessly. Every new area hits you with a new fun track to bob your head along to, and going underwater slightly mutes the music. It's such a great design choice that furthers the immersion into the game. Another major part of the charm of the Messenger is the humor. The character interactions that break up the combat parts of the game are done masterfully. You'll strike down a boss and get a rush of excitement that's cut short because you hurt the boss's feelings. Quills is snarky and demeaning at every death, but the real star of the show is the shopkeeper. This rogue fellow is hilarious at every turn. My favorite interaction has to be when your character first gets a hat and speaks to the shopkeeper, and then the resolution to that setup. I give the Messenger a 10 out of 10 for fun. The tight and fun gameplay is seasoned with the right amount of humor and paired with an amazing soundtrack. It felt cool to perfectly time jumps and to take down some of the tougher bosses. Not that I had any problems with this, as I basically never died. There's just the right amount of challenge provided, and most of the time, the bosses are tough but fair. There's a free DLC called Picnic Panic that started just after beating the game. Even the in-game way the DLC is introduced is incredibly done. I understand that retro-style games aren't for everyone. However, the mechanics are easy enough to grasp to at least complete the game. The DLC can prove to be challenging until you get a mastery over the gameplay though. The Messenger is well worth a playthrough, even if platformers aren't typically your thing. I highly recommend at least playing through the first half, as the second half increases the difficulty and is less linear. I can see how all the backtracking through the second half can be off-putting. Let's talk trophies. There are 41 trophies including the Platinum, and the DLC adds an additional 2. Most of the trophies can be obtained by simply completing the game. There are 5 missable trophies that will require you to start the game over if you get past the spot where you collect them. There are some miscellaneous and collectible trophies that aren't guaranteed, but can be done at any point even after beating the game. You will obtain 23 just for making it from the start to the finish. In fact, the first trophy comes from completing the tutorial area without dying. I don't even think you can die here, so just keep moving to the right. A trophy is given to you after you do die for the first time. I guess this is technically missable if you beat the entire game without a single death. But I doubt you won't die at all, because of the input lag. You will gain 3 more while buying all the upgrades. One can be obtained by killing a multiple hit enemy in one hit, which will require an upgrade anyway. There's another for hitting an enemy's projectile, which also comes from an upgrade. Finding a big time shard and destroying it is one of the easiest ways to collect them, and you should be doing this anytime you see one. You can knock out the 15 Cloud Step trophies right at the start by just jumping and hitting a totem and jumping again until it unlocks. There are 2 trophies associated with getting all the collectibles. The collectibles of this game are the Power Seals. There are 55 Power Seals, and there's an upgrade to show their collection on the map. But knowing where they are is only half the battle. These rooms will put your platforming skills to the test. Some will require insane precision with jumps, cloud steps, glides, and grapples just to break them. On the path to collecting these, you will unlock a trophy for seeing the whole world. The reward for collecting them all is needed for another trophy. You must throw your new shuriken out and not let it return for 15 seconds. There are 3 very easy and very easy to miss trophies. They each revolve around you interacting with the cabinet in the shop. On my initial playthrough, I tried to open it once. The shopkeeper says to leave it alone and I did. Later in the game he asks you to open it, and I did. Do not make the same mistakes as me. At any point early in the game, continue to try to open the cabinet until the shopkeeper lectures you. Later, enter the shop at the top of the mountain to see that the shopkeeper is gone. Again, try to open the cabinet until the trophy pops. Finally, when he asks you to open the cabinet, try to leave until the 3rd trophy pops. I'll talk about my personal struggle after I wrap up talking about the last couple of trophies. Time to talk about the 2 behemoth trophies. One is for completing the dark cave area without getting the light. This trophy will have you throwing yourself around in the dark, dying over and over. I watched videos of people doing this in the dark and in the light. I found that seeing what it looks like lit up actually makes it easier to navigate in the dark. Anyway, the section is not terribly long, but may prove too frustrating for you to manage. The real challenge lies with no argument here. This trophy requires you to play 2 and defeat the Queen of Quills with 0 deaths. That means no falling into pits, dying to spikes, or losing to any other boss until after you defeat her. This is a gauntlet. It can be made significantly easier by completing the DLC first and accepting the Voodoo Mask deal in New Game Plus. However, doing it as intended is insanity. The 2 DLC trophies just require you to beat the DLC and get all the collectibles on the island. This will net you the Voodoo Mask upgrade to use in New Game Plus. This makes you an insanely powerful demon ninja with a huge health bar and powerful swings. The only setback is that if you somehow manage to die, then you have to start the entire game over. This isn't a problem for the No Argument Here trophy, as you would need to restart anyway. Time to talk about my blunder. As I mentioned, I did not get the cabinet trophies on my first playthrough. Starting over and getting the first one is easy enough. But to get the other two, I would need to get to the Tower of Time for one, and then complete the Tower of Time for a second. I did not want to complete an entire second playthrough for these two trophies, so I figured I would just take the Voodoo Mask deal and burn through the game. It's easy to get through the Queen of Quills this way, so how hard could it be to complete the Tower of Time? Very hard is the answer. There are sliding walls that insta-kill, and bottomless pits that insta-kill. Thankfully, I managed to do it deathless, and I just sat back and laughed at how insane it was just to get these two very easy trophies. If only I'd picked them up when it was easy to. And that's all there is. The DLC can be tough as nails at some points. Navigating the dark cave and collecting all the power seals are a true test of perseverance. The Messenger is a hectic and hilarious journey the whole way through, and most of the trophies are fun and easy to pick up. However, the hard trophies are very hard. The platforming can be stressful, and the smallest mistake can send you back to the checkpoint or the very beginning. With that in mind, I do not recommend you get that platinum. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone is enjoying their year so far. I love releasing videos for the games I give a 10 to. They're a blast to jump back into to collect footage. If you're not subscribed, click that button so I can continue to grow and reach more people. As always, be good to yourself.